Calling All Platforms is a production of Supporter Sound Studios. To learn more about how you can support the podcast, go to www.patreon.com/callingallplatforms.
Now, into the ticket office of Disneyland.
Oh boy, let's do this.
Don't think the CIA is going to be trying to hack your second-gen iPod.
I didn't think so. There might have been a lot of illegal music on there. I wouldn't doubt it. But, I mean,
Because that would be stupid.
iTunes is a constant source of embarrassment.
I approve this message.
I really don't see Apple ever doing that.
I am Nadella. I can't do it anymore without laughing. I was going to do the whole thing. Welcome, everyone, to the Calling All Platforms podcast. I am your host, Wes, and I'm here with Landon.
Hello.
And Caleb.
Hello.
And we are here to talk all things tech, you guys. Well, all things Apple, really.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because everything else was last week. And I apologize.
Well, there was a
that
lot
I
of Apple
gone.
last week, too.
There
Yeah.
was. Oh my gosh. Apple, calm down. Chill. For
But
like
this is
1
what
month.
This is what you want, though.
Well, we'll get to that. Is it what I want? Is it what I... We'll see.
You know, I'm really good at finding things that he really doesn't like right at the very beginning.
Just
Like,
bring it right up.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Just poke the bear, Wes. Why don't you? Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I am excited for Avengers, though.
Yes.
Like, I haven't been this excited for a movie in a long time.
I actually, honestly, I was not that excited for Endgame until I saw Captain Marvel. Now I'm really excited for Endgame.
Yeah.
I want, and mostly because the new trailer for Endgame came out where it shows Thor interacting with Captain Marvel, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a pairing I did not know that I wanted. Now I want, like, just
Yes.
Thor and Captain Marvel. I want them to fight each other, and then I want them to beat up half the universe together because
Come on.
they're just like
Yeah.
the most stupid, overpowered heroes in the history of ever, and I love it. Anyways.
And they're going to bring it right. I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited.
It's going to be so
really
good.
am.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping I can get some, not day one. I never go day one, but like maybe like the 11 a.m. tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the next day. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm super stoked. And Landon, you need to catch up.
See you in a few years.
To be on this hype
How
train.
far behind are you?
See, I bought my house 6 years ago.
Hey,
7
actually-
years ago. 6 years ago.
Actually, some theaters are doing
About 6
marathons.
years.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Any around here? Because I'm on board with that.
I know they did that before the very first Avengers movie.
Yeah, but that's short. That was like 5 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're up
No,
to
they're doing
20
Now, when I say marathon, I'm not sure if they're going to do everything from after Avengers 2 up to this or what they're. I'm not sure.
So
But they
not
said they're
not
gonna do
starting with Iron Man
Oh man,
and
you know
going
how-
all the way through. I'm
That'd be
actually
so
pretty
cool.
sure that would fully that would take you like 2 weeks to do
Well,
just
yeah,
back-to-back movies.
that would be so cool though.
So long.
So much nerd, I'd love it.
Oh yes, I would die. I would die.
Okay, if it happens, you and I got to do this.
Okay, I'm
Oh.
fully on board.
This is so awesome. Anyway, should we talk about tech, guys? I
Yeah,
think
let's
it's
do
time.
it.
I
Let's
think it's
do
time.
it.
Do it.
Well, I would like to first apologize to everybody that I wasn't here last week because I was sick. So I want to get that out there. I apologize. Now let's move on. Let's talk tech. We're going to go ahead and talk about a new favorite word of mine, Credge. Chromium and Edge. That is the new name. Credge.
Ed, who is calling it that?
Well,
Apparently,
okay.
Wes.
Well, no. There's this big thing. No one knows what to call it. So they have many different names.
Uh-huh.
So one of them is Credge, and I don't know why, but it's hilarious.
That it's okay. Hilarious as in terrible and mostly terrible because I'm worried they're actually going to name a product after that.
No,
Like, just-
no. This is all fan. Like no one.
Yeah, but
This is just.
Doesn't mean it won't happen.
there have been so many bad names.
Well, it's not going to be Credge X, okay?
You don't know that.
It can't be.
You don't know that.
It can't be.
You can't it? Sorry, but there's an iPhone XS.
You
It just
see- I know our listeners can't see this, but he has a vein popping out of his head right now.
Accurate.
Oh, so okay. Those of you that don't know, Microsoft is dumping their old Edge browser, and they're basically grabbing Chrome and putting a Microsoft flair on it, if you will. and they're going to call it Edge. That's going to be the Edge, the new Edge. They're going to bring a couple of their features that people like over to it. For example, I believe it was called smooth scrolling and a couple other little flares, Microsoft flares, we'll say, to it.
Bing integration.
That too. I mean, it's kind of like what Microsoft does with Android phones. They just, put it on there. It's a skin or whatever. So it's it's a little bit out in the wild. People are like, oh yeah, it's hard to get into, but I mean, there's a link and you can get it and you can download it and try it out. The big things on this is yes, all Chrome, Chrome
extensions.
I want to say extensions for some reason, but
extensions.
Thank you.
You've already combined two other words. Don't
extensions.
Don't.
Yes. I'm just gonna make this happen.
Don't give Microsoft any ideas. Believe me, tech companies don't need the help coming up with terrible names.
True. Okay, back to the conversation. So what people have looked at already with this leak that they've, and I'm going to put this in big quotations, leak that's out there in the world, like everybody that's obviously a Windows enthusiast is trying this. People that are in this tech world are trying it, and they said it's very comparable to Edge. To Chrome because obvious reasons. It is Chrome.
It's Chrome.
But what's cool is you can have your Edge extensions as well as Chrome extensions to this, and so people are liking that. Now, personally, I've only used LastPass extension for Edge, so I mean,
that's pretty much the only extension I use in Chrome too.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know,
but I'm not on the browser very often either. So
true,
like on my desktop, like on an actual computer. So extensions to me, who cares? Now, for people that are on the browser, on their computer often, they probably use more, so it's a beneficial thing.
Well, it's really interesting because I am on my computer desktop browser experience.
You are an anomaly.
All the time. and I have zero extensions for my browser.
Not even an ad. Okay, this is weird to say, but because I don't use Apple products or. Safari.
Oh yeah, no, they have ad
blockers?
blockers, but not that long ago, Apple actually added a whole bunch of ad blocking functionality to Safari just natively, and I just turned that on and kind of just stopped paying attention.
So did Edge. Okay, Edge on mobile devices, but
right.
Obviously it's gonna merge.
It's basically what happens with pretty much all Apple software is. Third-party developers release extensions for Apple software that make them better. And then Apple just integrates those extensions a couple of years later. And so I just, so I'm a few years behind on what the latest extensions are, but Apple will get around to adding it to the OS eventually.
Right. So anyway, going back to that, let's roll this back in. Edge. This is going to be coming out here soon. A lot of people are in this Edge Insider program that say that, most things work just fine with, obviously, because they can use all their Chrome extensions. They can integrate everything from all their other browsers normally just right into it, and it's going to make it happen. But also, this is also going to be on Windows 7.
What?
So this product that they're trying to have everyone switch away from, they're adding more support. Not only did they add support to DirectX 12 to it, now they're going to allow this. So, fair enough.
Okay, Microsoft.
I know.
You do you.
Fair enough. But I guess there's a lot of people that just, it's kind of like well, maybe not. That was a bad example. I was going to say Windows XP, but Vista sucked. So
that's true. They didn't really have a choice but to support Windows XP for very, very well. To be fair, Windows 7 is in kind of the same boat because they're trying to get everybody to switch to Windows 10, and they're trying to get them to switch off of Windows 7 because absolutely nobody stayed on Windows 8.
Yeah, no, there's not a problem. Let's just say there's not a problem there.
No, they really.
There's a reason why we're talking Windows 7 instead of Windows 8.
Yeah,
because everyone once there was like, oh, there's an upgrade from this. Click, download.
Yes, done. Everyone that hadn't already downgraded back to Windows 7.
Yeah,
it's all like, oh, Windows 10, yes, please.
Yeah,
it's.
I don't care what it is. Give it to me.
No, seriously.
Anything is better than this, and they were right. It was better. Good grief. How long has Microsoft been doing that? Because, okay, so we got Windows 10, pretty good. Windows 8 sucked. Windows 7, pretty good. Windows Vista sucked. Windows XP, pretty good. Windows ME sucked. Windows 98, pretty good. Windows 95 sucked. Windows 3.1, pretty good. Windows 3 I'm not sure if that sucked. So I don't know if I can go back any further than that. But
I guess there's always a tick talk.
Yeah, the tick is, hey, this is a good operating system.
So
and
Windows
the talk
10.
Is,
So anything after Windows 10, people don't get it.
It's like, right. Skip the next Windows.
Oh, that's pretty funny. I
Wait
never
for
thought
Windows
of that.
12.
You know what's funny though? Now that you say that, you say Windows 8, and anyone that asks me about Windows 8, I have to sit for a minute. Like that's out of my brain.
I've already forgotten that existed.
I did, and so like you just brought it up, and I'm like, oh yeah.
I was thinking the same.
I was
Windows
like-
7 wasn't the last operating system.
Well, yeah, that's what I did. I never got 8, so I never had to deal with it.
Oh,
Other
I had
than
8 at work for a while, and
I never had to deal with 8 unless like someone bought a new computer and was like, Wes, I don't know what to, and I'm like, oh, let me see it and I'm like, I'm pretending I know what I'm doing.
I did the exact same thing with Vista.
Oh,
Like,
did you?
yeah, I had a whole bunch of friends that are all like, you're really good with computers. Here's my Vista laptop. Please tell me why it's not working. And I'd sit there and like try all the stuff that made Windows XP run better, and it didn't help. And I'm like, I got nothing, man. This just kind of sucks. And come to find out, it's because your laptop only had 2 gigs of RAM and it needed 12. Vista was a bonfire.
Understatement. Actually, it was 8, wasn't it?
8 was also a bonfire. They were both, like, it really is. Like, I think back over the past several years of Windows, and I'm like, yeah, there was Windows 10, and then there was Windows 7, and then Windows XP, and then, like, Windows 98, and was there any other operating systems in there? And yes, there were, but they were ballistically terrible, so, yeah. They didn't last for very long either, because Microsoft is actually pretty good at going, okay, yeah, this OS sucks, it has bombed horribly, let's just move on as quickly as possible.
Let's improve. So, okay, that was a rabbit hole.
That was a bit of a rabbit hole.
That was a good one. I liked it. Anyway, so the new Edge browser is coming. Now, I tried to look to see if there's going to be any kind of pop-up or anything coming out, but Microsoft hasn't released of how they're going to release this. Now, they did say that this is going to replace when you go to download any newer operating system from, any version of Windows 10 you download, you won't have the old Edge anymore, unless you have an older copy, obviously, on a CD or a USB that has the old Edge. But anything going forward, when this is released, that's the Edge you'll have. So people won't have to actually too much worry about their internet browser right off the bat, the first thing that they do.
Yeah.
So
that's good. I mean, they want to be like Apple. They want people to just install the operating system, and unless they have very strong feelings about what kind of browser they use, they'll just stick with the default.
Yeah.
And that's how things used to be. I'm sure that Microsoft would love it to go back to that.
Yeah.
And, just basically stealing the bones of Chrome is a pretty good way to do that. So
why not?
Fair enough.
Well, they see it's like, oh, okay. Most people are downloading Chrome with Edge.
Right.
Let's combine them
Yeah.
and see what happens.
There
Let's
you
just
go.
take the bones of Chrome and throw it into Edge.
And it'll work.
Okay,
So that's what a lot of
now
people are saying.
Microsoft is into necromancy is where we just went with that metaphor. And I'm okay with this.
Somehow he's pleased. So I guess that calms that vein down a little bit. That helps.
Just
For
so
the-
long
for
as
the-
they
for the time
don't
being.
name it Credge, then
Come on.
we'll be
Now-
okay.
It was okay.
Edge
So I've heard
10S with an X.
Oh man.
Sure. Whatever.
No, it's
Sure.
going to be Z.
You do know
Edge
that
with
they
a Z
they are
somewhere.
giving
Edge.
Okay, this is a side note. I'll just throw this out there just because we're on this tangent. I will add to it with more Microsoft stuff. So Microsoft is having an event for their Surface Hub, and their Surface Hub, their new one, Surface Hub 2, they have a Surface Hub 2S and a Surface Hub 2X. S, yes. And it's
They
exactly...
got their naming from Tesla.
Well, S and X has been with them since the 360, so...
Yeah.
True.
just
That's
saying.
true.
Okay, false. They didn't have an X360, so they didn't have a Xbox 360X. They did not have that. They had. An
I mean,
X, but
I'm going to go ahead and give Microsoft X as an option just because of the existence of Xbox. They were kind of the first tech company to go, X. Like, here's our gaming box. It's the Xbox.
the Direct Xbox.
Yeah, the Direct Xbox. Like, okay, like, fine, whatever. Use X wherever you want. You kind of earned it. S, using S to describe, like, this is the incremental improvement over this product, so You have the Xbox One, you have the Xbox One S is just like a one, but a little bit better. And same basic functionality, but we improved some things about it. And that's been fairly well established in the tech world. So like using an X, using an S separately from each other is perfectly fine. Using an X to represent the number 10 instead of just the letter X is kind of silly and a little bit stupid, and I think Apple has proved that on more than one occasion. And then putting the two of them together... Anyways, sorry, this is a tangent I have gone on many times over the past 8 months.
The vein is returned.
I now think we need to come up with some sort of sticker that we can come up with this whole his tangents. I think it'd be good. But we'll come up with that later.
Yeah. There does need to be an achievement for this, because I get it basically every podcast. I bring it up. I bring it on myself. Let's put it out there. Yeah. But it works. Anywho, so yeah, I wanted to bring this up. So for more reasons, because awesome. I use Edge. I've never had a problem with it, and I'm pretty much like you guys. I don't put a lot of extensions on it. I know that was the biggest problem with it when it first. Well, one of the biggest problems it had when it first came out was the whole extensions thing. And yeah, me not being able to use my LastPass I was kind of like, well, I'm probably not going to use this for a minute. But I understand. Yeah, my biggest thing with it is that it displays web pages differently than every other web browser on the planet.
They don't anymore.
No, it totally does still.
Okay, maybe I've just been using it too much. As a standard for me.
I have done some web development, and there's definitely that moment where, like, I do all of my development in macOS, and so I'm testing everything as I'm going in Safari.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I know what it looks like in Safari, and then I'll finish it up and I'll be like, okay, time to test the other browsers. I'll open it up in Firefox. Looks exactly the same as it does in Safari. Open it up in Chrome. Looks exactly the same as it does in Safari. Open it up in Opera. It looks exactly the same as it does in Safari. Open it up in Edge. Everything has moved. Nothing is working the way I expect it to, and I just want to kill Microsoft. Like, so there's there's definitely an element of that.
Same issues before, yes.
Well,
but now that Edge is based off Chromium,
then it'll look exactly the same as it does everywhere else. So
I cannot wait till this comes out.
Opera is based off Chromium.
Yes,
obviously Chrome.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
yep.
So it'll work. Yeah, I did run into that every once in a while. Like when I was doing my schooling, it's like I'd bring it up on Edge, and I'm like, it wouldn't even load. I'm like, okay. Because I can't use that. But anyway, so that's what's going. Kind of the big thing that's going on in Microsoft's world for that, other than the gaming side. So I will save the gaming for later on there. So let's go ahead and let's go over to Landon to give us his news that he's got, and then we're gonna go right into the Apple event.
Woohoo!
All right. So I've got very little news. But, so Samsung, we've talked about the Galaxy Fold a little bit. They have released a video showing how they tested the folding capabilities of this phone and how many times it can be folded. They say each one should be able to fold more than 200,000 times before it will break or to start misfunctioning and whatnot, which is impressive. But they have a video showing how they test this, and it's just a bunch of these robotic mechanisms that have a Galaxy Fold, and it's just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And there's like a bunch of them just sitting there doing this. It's kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you want to see that,
it's mesmerizing.
It's a 34, 35 second video.
Has somebody made a loop of it yet, though?
Oh, I can almost guarantee.
So you can just sit there and watch this thing looped for like 10 hours.
Oh gosh,
on YouTube.
Please don't give that idea, but it's
I'm
already
sure
somebody's probably already
there.
done it. Yeah,
with a little Rick roll at the end,
or better yet, somewhere in the middle, around like hour 6.
Hour 6, just okay. I'm happy now. Go ahead and do that.
Somebody needs to put that as a podcast.
Oh, jeez.
Actually, on that note, somebody does have a podcast that is entirely nothing. It's like a 30-minute show of just nothing.
Wait.
So that's called just get noise canceling headphones, put them on, turn on the noise canceling, and then just don't turn on any music.
Yeah.
That's the exact same effect, and you don't have to download a podcast to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to use data, so that's nice.
But where's the fun in that?
Well,
you're not listening to anything. This way you
Yeah,
technically are listening to something. Technically.
You and your logic.
Hey, with noise-canceling headphones, you are technically listening
That's
to the
true.
inverse waveform of any noise that is happening around you. So, boom! That's your content.
There's your technicality.
I don't have noise-canceling headphones, so if I don't have that, I'm not listening to something.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'll move on.
Get noise. Anyways. Obvious solution. Buy something.
I'm too cheap for that. Okay,
On that
anyways,
note.
moving on. So, Huawei announced a couple new phones this week, the P30 and the P30 Pro. And these are some interesting phones. I only mention these for one reason, that's the cameras. Because these phones are they're good phones. I mean, their P-series phones have always been pretty decent. I mean, we're never going to see them in the US more than likely. You can buy them from Huawei. They're not going to be in any carrier stores because
that's
reasons.
illegal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I just want to talk about these phones. So the P30, it's the lower end version. It's got, so let's see. Let's start with the camera. It's got a 40 megapixel Sony wide angle main sensor, 16 megapixel ultra wide, and an 8 megapixel telephoto lens capable of 3 times optical zoom on the back.
Okay,
All pretty
I'm on
good.
board.
All pretty good. It also has the Kirin 980 chipset, so I think that's their own.
Yeah, that one's theirs.
And those are usually pretty good. It's got a 6.1 inch FHD plus OLED display with the water drop notch on top, so it doesn't look too bad. And the front camera is a 32 megapixel camera.
Good grief. So we are back into the megapixel wars then, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess so. Well, China.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah. It also has a 3650 milliamp hour battery and a headphone jack. And it comes in very pretty colors.
Their phones do come in pretty colors,
Yes.
actually.
And these ones come in even more options than what they have in the
Ooh.
past. And I mean, this one, it's got like the one that I'm looking at on this
Whoa.
website it goes from like this light blue fade into this like purple color, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is so pretty.
Yeah. I kind of want to get Huawei phones just because, like, it's pretty. Look.
Yeah.
Like, I really like my red iPhone, but I kind of wish I had even more options. Apple, please.
Yeah. And I mean, Huawei always has excellent cameras on their phones.
Yeah.
Just take away their operating system or like their UI,
Yes.
and you've got a dang good phone.
It's like, really, the cameras on Huawei phones are among the best in the business, held back by Huawei software.
Yep.
So-
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, dead serious. If you get those things running with, like, say, Google's camera app, then awesome.
Well, their camera app itself is good. It's just everything
Right.
else
It's
surrounding it is not.
The post-processing that they do on the images while they're being taken and after they're being taken. Like, really, you just need to be able to root the thing and put a pixel image onto the phone, and then
yeah.
you'd get that processing instead, and that would just be much better.
Oof, that'd be lovely. All right, so both of these phones come with an in-display fingerprint sensor, and they are similar to the OnePlus 6T type fingerprint sensor.
The better in-display fingerprint sensor, from what I
wouldn't
hear.
necessarily say better.
Oh, but that's what I hear.
No, the other one is just a little slower. It's actually like the one in Samsung is more secure, but
So
it's slower.
what I've heard is that the ultrasonic one that Samsung is using has a failure rate of about 20%,
Right,
which means it's going to misread your fingerprint 20% of the time,
right,
which is hilariously bad
right,
versus every other fingerprint sensor on the market.
right. But it's more secure than the other in-display fingerprint sensors.
Oh, yeah, but 20%
Oh, yeah,
of the time your
I'm not
screen
trying-
won't even unlock.
Well, yes, I'm not trying to defend. I'm just saying it's more secure.
Wow.
That's my argument here.
Yes, including more secure against you because it will misread you.
Well, yeah.
It's yeah. Anyways, I just want it's
Well, we could have said the same thing about Face ID the first couple months, and we did.
well, I don't think it was ever as bad as a 20% failure rate though.
For
Like
some people, it was.
20% failure rate is like, well, that's true actually. That's true. They did have some issues with like various ethnicities and stuff like that in the early days of Face ID. That's true.
So, first-gen technology is never great. Let's just say that.
Well, this thing basically goes back to being as bad as Samsung's first fingerprint sensor in a smartphone.
Yeah.
So anybody who had those early Galaxies, if you haven't bought the S10 yet, then keep that in mind and maybe get the 10R.
Yeah.
That would actually be my recommendation.
Anyways, okay. So let's move on to the P30 Pro. So this one, I'm gonna wait to do the cameras on this one because that's where the fun part begins. It's got a 6.47-inch OLED display with curved edges, so it's a little more high-end, I guess. It's got the same Kirin 980 chip in it. Got a 4,200 milliamp hour battery with 15-watt wireless charging and 40-watt supercharge, which is ridiculous.
Yep.
I can't remember the times I saw on this phone, but like, it's fast.
It's like an 80% charge in 10 minutes or something like
it's,
that.
it's ridiculous. It's pretty crazy.
Well, put it this way. Most laptops you buy are going to have a 40-watt power brick associated with them. So, you know.
Wow.
Most phones you buy have a 30-watt. Like my phone has a 30-watt, which is still pretty freaking fast.
Yeah.
Unless you're buying an iPhone.
Mine
they don't
still
come
ships
with
a 5-watt
yeah.
power brick.
It's so stupid.
It's the worst thing
Oh.
about iPhones. Anyway.
I actually haven't checked mine, so I'll have to do that.
Anyways, now let's go into the cameras. The main sensor is still that same 40 megapixel, but it's using RYB instead of RGB color spectrum. So it actually is supposed to be able to bring in 40% more light in low light situations.
Interesting.
And from what I've seen, it does a pretty decent job. And I mean, Huawei cameras have always done pretty good in low light. This is just supposed to make it better. Secondary camera is, or the extra cameras has a 20 megapixel ultra wide angle and an 8 megapixel telephoto with 5 times optical zoom and 10 times hybrid zoom, which is interesting. And they even have this weird 50 times digital zoom option.
Whoa.
And I've seen videos of this thing in action. It is ridiculous. Granted, it's going to be fairly grainy because it's digital zoom, but like, it's legit. Like, it's a freaking binocular and a sensor. It's crazy how far this thing can zoom in.
Yikes.
Again, not that you'd want to, but you can.
Right, yeah.
Take it to 30 times zoom and it's a decent photo.
Good grief.
Which is still crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. That's absolutely insane.
Yeah. And all of these are Leica lenses, so I mean, they're good lenses.
Yeah.
And they got Sony sensors in them. They're just,
Jeez.
they're good cameras. Yeah, and then it's got a fourth camera that is I'm trying to remember what the term, like time of frame or time of something. It's supposed to help with depth sensing and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's like, the way they have this camera set up is it's kind of, it's supposed to be something that goes deeper into the camera, but the way they've got it set up is like a periscope style thing. Like it goes into the phone and then down instead of like just sucking into the phone and making it thicker.
What?
It's crazy the way this technology is set up. It's pretty cool. But yeah, they've got four camera sensors on the back of this phone. And
wow.
They can all do different things, but a couple of them are made to work with others and just do even more ridiculous things.
Well, now that you've said this, I want a phone with a periscope on it.
Not that kind of periscope.
But it would be so cool.
That would be actually.
You push a button and this little bzzz out of the top.
Yeah.
You hold it up and you can look over
I'm
a
sure
low
in
wall.
China.
Actually, I should go look.
There
might be one already.
Yeah, probably. All right. So both of these phones are going to be on sale in Europe on April 6th. The P30 Pro starts at €900, which is right around $1,200.
Woo!
And the P30 is at €700, which is about $925.
Dadgum.
So expensive.
Just a little.
But, I mean, good phones. So, I mean, the price is comparable with the specs to other flagship phones.
Yeah.
It's just, I hate that that's the price for flagship phones now.
Boy, you remember when everyone thought the first generation iPhone was expensive at $500?
Yeah. I
Those were
wish that was still
simpler
the case.
times.
Just a little.
Yeah. Now their budget phone is $750.
$750. Budget.
Whose budget? Oh my gosh.
Tim Cook's budget.
I think actually,
I guess my budget, I'm holding one.
Yeah,
So
good
I
point.
don't...
I think that was Ballmer's big thing when he laughed at the iPhone.
Oh, it was everyone's big thing.
Well, it was
Oh, yeah.
That was
Are
the
you
first
kidding?
thing everyone was all
Yeah.
like, a $500 cell
Who's
phone?
gonna pay $500
Who's going to pay
for a
$500 for
phone?
a cell phone?
Yeah.
Here I
Lots of
am,
people.
$800 cell phone right here.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's all of my news. No actual Google news this week. But I'm sure we'll talk a little more
we'll
about
talk
it
a
once
little.
we get into Apple, ironically.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it'll
a
come
little
up.
bit.
Anyway. Well, awesome. All right. So Apple event.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. All right.
Showtime.
Apple's event. It's showtime. So basically, I'm just going to go ahead and sum up this event really quick. They're literally just buying Showtime. That was the whole event. It was just Showtime. And I mean, it was right there in the tagline. It's Showtime. We just weren't paying attention. But yeah, so they spent 2 hours talking to us about how they were acquiring Showtime, and it was a really boring event.
Wait, really?
No.
Okay. No, I didn't watch. I really didn't watch.
I knew that I could say that because you wouldn't know if I was kidding or not.
I was sitting there like,
I was just waiting for. I was like, where is he going with this?
Yes.
yeah.
No,
Thanks for pointing that out.
They did not literally just buy Showtime.
I mean,
so,
they may as well have, and we'd get a similar product.
actually, yeah. So I'm going to
Actually, probably more.
oh, geez, this
We'll see.
bad?
we're
No,
gonna
no,
we're
we'll
gonna
get
get there.
Okay.
Okay, so basically this event was entirely about Apple's services. So they did not really talk about hardware at all in the
No.
entire event. So to be fair, everyone, we need to understand this. Apple is trying to move more and more into the services business because they see that they can't continue to just charge more and more money for their hardware like they have in the past. They need to make money somewhere else, and subscription services is a pretty good way to do that.
100%.
So that's what the whole event was about. They introduced a couple of new things. I'm going to go through them all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly summarize each of the things they talked about. You guys can ask questions at the end. But we're going to start with Apple News Plus. Basically what this is a subscription service available through the Apple News app, which includes a bunch of magazines now. Includes them. So you pay the one-time subscription fee, you get magazines. You're also going to get digital newspaper subscriptions. So they had a couple. I believe the LA Times was one of them, and
Wall Street Journal.
Wall Street Journal was the other. Yes. And also some other digital content, like digital news source subscriptions are included in that as well. They made a big deal about how it's private, meaning that they don't track what you're reading. They don't track how much time you're spending in which sources, so that there's no targeted advertising based on that information at all. So, that is important to some people. It costs $10 per month, and that $10 a month does include a family plan. So there's no additional family plan like there is for Apple Music. $10 a month gets you and everybody in your family, and it's available now, and the first month is free. So that's Apple News Plus.
What's the limit on the family plan per person?
6?
I think 6.
Oh, yeah.
6 people.
Okay.
Yeah. So, any other questions?
I actually like what they're doing with this.
It's not bad.
I'm not one that's going to go subscribe to magazines just in general.
Heck no.
But they've got, what do they say, 300 magazines or something like that?
Yes. Yep.
In this catalog,
some major ones
and big ones. Now,
so it's like
you've got
pile
there's
of them.
yeah there's
Yes.
there's going to be something in there for almost anybody.
Yep.
And at $10 a month, that's how much you're going to be paying for one subscription to a magazine.
Yeah.
So you know.
It depends on the magazine, but for sure, they had one up there. They had Motor Trend up there that
Right.
they showed just briefly. They're like, here's all the car magazines we have, and Motor Trend was one of the ones that they had. I have been subscribed to Motor Trend in the past. It was like $60 a year, so a little bit less than $10 a month, obviously. Like about half as much as $10 a month, I suppose. But they also had Automobile magazine, which is a British publication, which does a very different style of coverage of automotive stuff than Motor Trend. Both are very useful. I would have liked to have subscribed to both of them, but that's a lot of money for just 2 magazine subscriptions.
Yeah.
But it's those two plus a couple dozen other car magazines, and hundreds of other just unrelated magazines for whatever you, including stuff like National Geographic and Time and stuff like that. So, not a bad deal. If you do read a lot of news, then definitely look at this if you have an Apple device that you consume your news on.
That's interesting, though. No, when you first said it, I'm like, I probably pass on this, but that's...
Yeah, I definitely see the appeal for some people.
Yeah.
And I think it's smart of Apple to just go ahead and say, like, look, we're already providing a news app. People already consume a lot of news and magazines and stuff on our devices. We may as well offer a subscription that offers some value for those people and see if they want it. And cool.
Yeah.
Like, good deal.
I like it.
Okay, next. Apple Pay. So Apple Pay's been around for a while, so that's not really a new service. But they have added a few new things to Apple Pay. And in particular, they have added the Apple Card. In case anybody was wondering, that is an Apple credit card. So let's talk about what that means. All of the details for how you use the card, your balance, and all of that stuff is in the Wallet app. So you don't have to access a separate app. You don't have to go on the website. You don't have to wait for a statement in the mail or anything like that to see exactly what's going on with your card. And you'll never have to call anybody, which is actually kind of a big plus for me. There's no waiting for a physical card. Once you sign up for the thing through the Wallet app in an iPhone, it will just add the card to your wallet and you can start using it immediately. So that's pretty nice. There is some interesting stuff they're doing with machine learning on device in the app that will be using your location and stuff like that to try and put merchant names to the cryptic bank identification names that merchants actually have that show up in like bank statements and stuff like that. So instead of just seeing those weird names that sometimes are pretty easy to understand, sometimes don't make any sense at all, they're going to go like, well, you were standing here when you made that transaction. We know that because you have location services turned on your phone. And according to Apple Maps, there's a Burger King here. So you were probably buying stuff at the Burger King. And so that transaction will show up as a Burger King purchase in your app. Let's see. They talked about the rewards stuff. Obviously, it's a credit card. There's going to be some rewards associated with it. So what they're doing is something called daily cash, which means it's basically a cash back. So no percentage. It's a percentage cash back off of every purchase. There's no points or anything like that. It's just straight dollars. And every day, the money that you have gotten via this cash back thing gets credited to your Apple Cash card in the Wallet app, which is actually pretty nice. Becomes available every day. Like credit card I've got right now, if it's cash back, I can get cash from the thing, but I have to get $60 worth of cash back before I can actually get the cash.
Yeah.
This is evidently, it doesn't really matter if you've gotten it just every day. Here you go. And there's no upper limit. There's no lower limit. Just whatever.
Here's
every
the
day.
cash.
Here it is.
Well, that's convenient.
They actually did a pretty good job of presenting this because they made the joke. It's actually cash, like real cash. Like 4 or 5 different times I got a laugh out of the audience every time. I was actually pretty impressed with the delivery on that. So kudos to the executive that was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be 2% back on payments that you make with Apple Pay via your smartphone or your Mac or iPad if it's made via Apple Pay online. 3% back on purchases made directly from Apple via the app, via the internet, or in Apple stores. And here's kind of the kicker. 1% cash back on payments made with a physical card. So if you go someplace that doesn't support NFC payments via Apple Pay and you have to use the physical card to pay, because there is a physical card, of course, you're only going to get 1% back on those purchases, which kind of sucks. But
isn't that just pretty much eliminating the card service? Or that's why you get the cash back more for...
Yeah. There's fewer fees associated with doing it via the phone and stuff like that. They want to encourage adoption of that kind of thing. And to be fair, I mean, especially outside of the US, that's like everywhere supports NFC contactless payments. And the US is actually getting pretty high. Like 90% of places you can pay with Apple Pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now that Target's done it, Walmart's the biggest holdout at the moment.
Yep. So yeah. There are no fees associated with the thing aside from like interest and that kind of thing. All of those are still there, but there's no like annual fees. There's no overage fees. There's no stuff like that.
The kicker on that though, and this is where I'd actually prefer like a late fee or an overage fee, is they just raise your interest.
Yes.
And that actually costs you more money. And they're not the only one that do this. There's other banks that do this.
Most credit card companies will do something like that.
People, they word it specifically, say there's no late fees because they want you to think this is a better idea. And it can be, but it most of the time isn't, because again, they raise your interest rate and it's going to cost you more.
Yeah.
It really comes down to Apple is not necessarily trying to we're just the better credit card company and everything's all puppies and roses and stuff like that. It's still a credit card and you still need to be careful about how you use the thing because it's borrowing money every time you use it.
Yeah.
So, be careful with that. Make sure you stay up to date on your payments or pay off your balance as soon as you accrue it. But they are way more upfront with the way everything works. Instead of having a whole bunch of fees, like a big stack of fees like most credit cards do, they just say, look, here's how the interest scales over time based on these things, and there's no additional fees on top of that. That scaling is a little bit more harsh than it may look on other credit card companies, but other credit card companies are also going to stack a bunch of fees on top of it. And so, you may end up paying more than you think you're going to pay just because of those fees you didn't know about. So I see what they're trying to do there.
There are other credit card companies that are almost identical to what Apple's doing.
There definitely are.
And in my opinion on this is, if you have a credit card that you like, that you're used to, and you're just it works for you, don't switch, because switching credit cards or just adding another one dings your credit score right away. So that in and of itself is a reason not to do this. Now, if you're doing this because it's better than what you already have, or different reasons like that, then maybe. Yeah. But I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing for Apple to get into.
The really big thing I think they're bringing to it is just being able to make the interface for seeing what's going on with your credit card easier.
Yeah.
That's the big advantage they have. That really is it.
Yeah, and that, I think, because Apple's doing that, I could see some of these bigger credit card companies seeing this and be like, hey, let's implement that into our system.
Yep.
Because most of them are already in Apple Pay or Google Pay.
Yeah.
So they have the resources to do that. So it's like, okay, we'll just throw it into their own app, because they already have their own app too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those, it's like, okay, someone's now doing it and showing how it can be better. So it's going to push other people to do it better. And I think that'll happen.
Yeah, it probably is true. Just a couple of more things. So they're partnered with MasterCard and Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is the issuing bank, which is actually, from what I understand, this is the first time Goldman Sachs has really done anything consumer-oriented. They're mostly a bank about,
themselves,
gigantic,
like a normal bank.
Right. They're just giant construction companies and stuff like that. That's who Goldman Sachs deals with. So this is a first for them, and it's a MasterCard, so everywhere is going to take it. The physical card, I mentioned that just briefly, is the most Apple credit card you can imagine. It's just a sheet of titanium that has almost nothing on it. It's got a magnetic strip on the back and then a couple of tiny little silk screened words about here's our contact line and so on and so forth. And then on the front, there's an apple engraved into it. There's the MasterCard logo engraved into it, and then your name engraved into it. That is it. Your credit card number, expiration date, security number, none of that is on this card. No signature, nothing. If you need the credit card number, which, you might for online purchases in some case, like Amazon, for instance, that will be available via the wallet app. But, you can't sign up for this credit card without an iPhone. You have to have an iPhone in order to do this. So I think that's what they were going for. And to be fair, that is kind of cool that they could steal your credit card or they could get a photo of your credit card. They wouldn't be able to do jack diddly with that.
True.
There's no information on the card. So that's kind of nice. This thing will be available in summer. They didn't give us an exact date, but sometime this summer. So that is the Apple Card.
So the question is, are you interested in getting this?
Not that long ago, I signed up for a PayPal credit card. Didn't know this Apple credit card was coming, obviously. I really wish I would have known, because I might have pushed off buying my $800 iPhone and my $1,000 Mac until I could have gotten 3% cash back on both of those for just having an iPhone. But now that I just recently signed up for a credit card, and like Landon said, signing up for new credit cards does affect your credit score. Yeah. I don't really see that there's a whole lot of reason for me to do it. The rewards program is not amazing. It's not bad. It's
No,
fairly
yeah.
average. Like Landon was saying, everything is pretty average about it. The one advantage they have is just making it easy to parse all of the information that is in the app.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily need that. So probably not.
Gotcha.
Though a titanium card would be
I just
kind of neat.
I was
The
hoping
card
that you would
itself
say
is
yes,
pretty
so
cool.
I can see the titanium card.
Yeah. We'll see. Like maybe in a year or so, once signing up for it wouldn't affect my credit score
Yeah.
so much. So there'll be some time behind me. I don't know. We'll see.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the next thing, we have an updated TV app. So the TV app, for anyone who has an Apple TV or an iOS device, you're familiar with this thing. This is the thing that is supposed to be the conglomeration of meeting point for all of the media on your device, and it is not that. It totally isn't. Apple wanted to get buy-in from a whole bunch of people to make it so that everything was just going to show up in there, and they got like Hulu and Amazon Prime, and that was it. So,
Oof.
not very effective up to this point. But they made some changes. It is going to be more effective for this from now on.
Much more.
They have introduced something called channels, which is basically app subscriptions that you sign up for directly from the TV app. And Showtime is an option, just to be clear. They didn't buy Showtime, but you can subscribe to Showtime from the TV app now, so cool. They added a kids section to it as well. This updated TV app is going to be available at first starting in May, and they're going to be bringing it to the Mac as well. It'll be coming into Mac OS. From the way they were describing it, it kind of sounds like this is going to be one of those apps that's like, hey, this is an iOS app that we're porting over, like voice memos and stuff like that they did at WWDC last year. It's also going to be available on all of these smart TVs that have added support for AirPlay 2. They are bringing the TV app to those as well, which means that all of these channels and stuff will be available there, as well as all of your iTunes purchased content. That crap's going to be available there too.
That's
So-
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're also bringing it to Roku devices and
Yep.
Fire TV devices. Like, wow, Apple playing nice with folks. So they're dead serious about this whole like, yeah, we want people to sign up for our services whether or not they've got Apple devices because, you know, you can get Apple Music on Android and you can get this stuff on pretty much any smart TV that isn't a Chromecast, I guess.
Yeah.
So, dang.
That is awesome.
So a little bit more detail about the Channels app, just real quick. It is not it's not the a la carte TV subscription, like internet TV subscription, like Sling TV
Right.
or something like that. It is basically giving you the ability to sign up for a subscription to a specific TV provider's app directly in the TVs that are in the Apple TV app. That's really all it is. So if you want to sign up for Showtime, you can download Showtime's app and you can have a subscription directly to Showtime. It's like $10 a month. Or you can just not download the app, subscribe to it directly through the TV app, and it's $10 a month. So you're basically paying for the same thing, getting all of the same content. You just don't have to download any additional apps. You don't have to sign into multiple places or anything like that. And it's associated directly with your Apple ID. So if you sign into it on other devices, it's there and it syncs between devices more naturally. And yeah, so there's some convenience advantages there, but it is not an internet TV subscription service. It's basically just Apple partnering with a whole bunch of app providers to get that content available in the TV app.
Now, I was not fully awake when I was watching this event.
You weren't the only one.
True. But didn't they say something along the lines of it also brings in, like, if you're subscribed to, like, DirecTV or Dish Network, it brings in those channels into the TV app?
So
Like, if you were to search for a show, it would show it in, though, and then you click on it and go to that. Am I right, or did I mishear that?
Yes. So if you have, like, DirecTV Now, which is DirecTV's internet streaming package,
So not
bundle
just
thing.
regular.
Right. It's,
Okay,
it's,
I
it's
thought I heard
DirecTV
something
Now.
about like just
And
regular
it's-
satellite or.
It's the same kind of thing,
You
like,
know.
so DirecTV Now or Sling TV or Hulu or Amazon Prime, if you're subscribed to any of those and you have those downloaded on your device, those aren't available via the channels interface, but the TV app will integrate with those apps on
Right.
device, bring in all that content into the TV app, and organize it the same way as all the rest of the content in there. And then when you click on it, it just switches you over to the other app, pulls it up, you watch it. Netflix is notably absent from the list of apps that will do that. Netflix is fighting this tooth and nail. And, fair enough, because Apple is, interestingly, now competing directly with Netflix. So they're also competing directly with Hulu and Amazon, though, and none of them seem to really care. Oh, well. But yeah, it's more convenience to the TV app, which is nice because the TV app has been kind of stupid up to this point. But I'm still not all that excited about it because I'm not going to pay for any of the channel subscriptions. I just don't have that much money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
Okay. Moving on. The next thing this was not the next thing that they announced. I actually skipped something that they announced, which was weirdly gaming related, but we'll get to that when we talk about gaming news. So this was the last thing that they talked about, and it was the most disappointing thing I have ever seen in an Apple event. I was bored to tears.
The way they presented it was very interesting.
I was anyways. So, it's called Apple TV Plus, and it's Netflix except Apple. Basically, okay, it's Netflix originals, except Apple.
It's like it's pretty much everything that we talked about last week that we didn't want this to be.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's only
original content.
Only original content. They didn't partner with other companies like we thought they would to bring in like how Netflix has movies from other places and whatnot. It's not that. It is just original content, and all we have to go on is what the stars of these shows and movies have said about this content. Yeah. We're hoping it's good.
To be fair, they have some really good people involved.
Oh yeah,
They had a video introducing the thing that was actually a pretty cool video, very well produced. And the note I wrote down about that was a lot of great directors in this video because it was just a whole bunch of directors talking about the process of making TV and making movies and stuff.
There's a few actors in there.
And there was a few actors as well. But yeah, it was like a lot of great directors in this video. Also, M. Night Shyamalan and J.J. Abrams, because they are not great directors. Anyways, they have definitely a lot of really talented folks associated with this original content. And then they brought out stars from the shows to talk about them, to introduce them to the crowd on stage. And it was just a whole bunch of navel-gazing about the projects that they're working on. I was really, really over it. Even though some of those projects actually did sound really interesting to me.
Oh, yeah.
But as soon as it became clear that literally all it was going to be was just like these 6 original shows or whatever it was, I was just like, screw this. I'm not subscribing to that.
Yeah, no. Like there are legitimately, from what they talked about, what they were showing off, 2 shows that seemed interesting to me. There was The Morning Show with Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, and Steve Carell. That actually, I think, would be good.
Could be hilarious,
and very funny. And then I didn't recognize either of these 2 people that are in this other one, but it's the one with all the they live in a civilization of people that don't have sight.
You didn't recognize Jason Momoa?
No.
What the? That's Aquaman, dude.
He doesn't watch these things, remember?
Sorry.
Anyways, Jason Momoa is awesome. And actually, the other woman is Viola Davis. She's also fantastic. They're both amazing.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Now that you say that, her, I do know. Okay. But anyways, those 2 shows actually seem interesting to me.
They did.
But I'm not going to subscribe for 2 freaking shows.
I know. This is definitely the kind of thing where, like I said before, if they give it to me as a part of my Apple Music subscription, for instance, I'll watch them. Like, definitely those 2 shows I'm super interested in.
I'm just going to borrow Caleb's login and watch them.
You'll still get your content.
Yeah, it definitely was not really worth it. It was really funny because they showed the introduction video. They had all of these people come out and give this blurb about their shows and stuff like that. It took forever. I was bored out of my skull. And then an executive from Apple came out onto the stage and said, it's not another streaming service. And the note that I wrote down immediately afterwards was, it's another streaming service. It's literally just Netflix originals, except made by Apple. It's going to be available via the Apple TV app. It's an ad-free, on-demand subscription service. You can watch it online. You can download them, watch them offline as well. It will be coming sometime this fall. The price is unknown at this point.
So what this really is, it's a family version of HBO.
Yeah. Yep.
They've got, 5 to 10 shows that are on the, that you're subscribing for. these ones are not going to be,
Right.
R and PG-13, those type
Right.
of. That's one thing Apple is doing. They want something that's definitely more family oriented. I mean, maybe that site show or what's it called C or something like that.
I can't remember.
That one looked a little more like it may be more adult oriented,
I'm thinking
but
like
even
TV
still,
14.
at most, yeah. And so it's like I said, the family version of HBO Go.
Yeah,
That's
there's
Apple.
There's a Sesame Street show.
Yeah,
as well. Like for
that actually
kids.
did kind of sound.
It did seem interesting.
I was somewhat interested in that for my kids.
Yeah,
but other than that,
it's just, I don't know. It depends on what they ask for it for the subscription. But right now, it just is not like. And that's kind of the problem,
you can get HBO
though.
Go. What is it? $5 a month?
It's actually like 15.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, HBO is expensive.
HBO is expensive, and people pay for that because the content is second to none and available only there. So this may turn out to be that good. It may turn out to be the thing that everyone's like, oh, well, this is the next Game of Thrones and whatever.
Potentially, yeah.
Like, here's the new Westworld, and okay, everybody has to watch this.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
so
they're throwing the money out for it in that sense, like it's going to be. They've got the right people.
Yep.
But again, even really good directors and really good actors make bad shows and movies. It happens. What was that?
M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know if he counts as a really good director. He's got lucky a couple of times.
Everyone has their good hits and everyone has their bad hits.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it just remains to be seen whether or not these are going to be any good.
Yeah.
And also what the price is going to be. It's just so many questions. And oh my gosh, it just was not worth the amount of time they spent talking about it.
No.
And honestly, the last thing that I have to talk about from the event is the thing I wish they would have spent more time talking about. Because it was basically the only service that I was actually interested in. But before I talk about that, I just want to mention really quickly, this is not from the event. This came after the event, but I have to say it. It's Apple news. It's not gaming news, so I have to get it in now. Apple has officially canceled the Airpower. In a statement made to TechCrunch, they cited an inability to meet their high standards for hardware. And it's one of those things where, like, I'm really sad that we're not going to be getting this cool piece of technology, but at the same time, this product, Airpower, has become such a joke over the past year and a half that honestly, this is the perfect punchline. And I love everything about it. And I laughed so hard. And I was like, Apple, you suck. No, they don't suck. But it was just hilarious. Airpower is a massive joke. This was the perfect punchline.
This is why Apple, previous to this, hasn't announced products that they weren't ready to launch with.
Yep.
Because this happens all the freaking time with every company.
Yep. Apple usually keeps it behind closed doors.
I mean, something may get leaked here and there about it.
Yeah.
But that's the most that ever happens, and then it just disappears. Whereas this one, they said, well, they didn't fully talk about it. They showed a little bit about it, mentioned it here and there. But that was enough for everyone to get excited because it is that cool. It is a cool product.
It would be cool. Yeah.
But then, nope.
Just couldn't do it.
They should have never left the R&D floor.
Nope. So, there you go.
And it's not going to.
That is the end of the ignominious end of the saga of Airpower has been canceled.
Yeah.
So, that's all of the Apple tech news that I have from the event. There's one more thing from the event that is full-on gaming news, so if there are no objections, I'm just going to go straight into gaming.
Make it happen.
Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this real quick. This is basically Netflix for iOS games. Kind of.
Well, this is Apple TV Plus for iOS games.
No, come on. It'll be better than that.
That's true.
So here's what's interesting about this to me. Well, okay, I'm basically just going to run through all the details about this stuff. We could talk about it afterwards. First of all, it'll be available on mobile devices, so your iPhones and iOS devices, on the desktop, so Mac OS as well, and in the living room via Apple TV. And possibly, they weren't super clear on this, possibly some other streaming boxes, but that was just based on something that I saw in the background of one of the videos, so I'm not necessarily going to promise anything. Basically what it is a curated library of indie games that Apple is sort of functioning as a publisher for.
Yeah.
They're basically just kind of shoving some money toward developers and saying, develop a game for these platforms, for iOS and whatnot, which, most of them were already developing a game for iOS anyways. And they're basically saying, don't monetize them. No ads, no in-app purchases, nothing. You just develop a game. Here's money to do it. And then you're going to get kickbacks from this subscription service that we have. It kind of looks a bit like the idea at Xbox plus Games Pass. That's how it feels to me a little bit.
Yeah.
So they were citing 100 plus exclusive games at launch, which to me says the games aren't necessarily going to not launch on other platforms, but on mobile devices, they will be exclusive to this subscription service, which means you won't be able to get it on the App Store just normally, and on the subscription service, it'll just be the subscription service, and possibly will also mean that you won't be able to get it on Android either. I don't know if that's necessarily what they meant, but I was kind of reading into it mostly. It's exclusive to the subscription service. You won't be able to just buy it for $5 on the App Store.
Okay.
So they'll be available via a separate tab in the App Store, so it'll kind of be in there as well. Let's see. And because it's available across all those different platforms, iOS, macOS, tvOS, everything is going to sync across devices, so your saves will travel with you from one device to the next for a seamless experience. They will be downloadable games, so it's not like you're streaming them from the cloud. You download the game, then you play the game. They did say that most of them we're going to support made for iPhone controllers, which is kind of a big deal, especially if you're going to be playing it on a Mac where you can't use touch controls because, no touch screens, or a TV. Like touch controls on your 42-inch TV would be a little strange. They would actually have to map them to the remote, and that would just be so much worse. Anyway, so yeah, they're not going to make you do that, thankfully.
That would be bad.
So, like I said, there's no ads, no in-app purchases, and no deadlines, meaning that it's not like the kind of thing where you download the game, you have a week to play it or something like that. The game is there. As long as the game is there, you can download the game, you can play the game. Sounds like Apple is planning on keeping those games in here for the duration, at least. Like, as long as the game is supported by the operating system, you will hopefully be able to download and play the game. Again, they made a big deal about how they were not going to be tracking what you were playing or how long you were playing which games. They're obviously going to be tracking which games get downloaded because it's the App Store. Yeah. They have to feed you the download so they know that it's been downloaded. So they'll be tracking that. They'll probably be using number of downloads to figure out how much of the subscription money goes to which developers and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, so no tracking, and explicit consent must be required in the games if the game is going to track anything for their own internal
data
purposes. Yeah, that sentence got away from me somewhere. So family sharing is also going to be included in this subscription. So you pay for the subscription, you get family sharing. It's not an additional subscription for family sharing, which kind of makes me wonder if they're going to switch to that for Apple Music at some point in the future. I don't know. It's kind of weird that family sharing is included in all of these subscriptions that they announced at this event, but Apple Music, you have to pay an extra $5 for family. Some of the games, they just kind of ran through a bunch of them and just showed some of the stuff. Some of the things that stuck out to me is I don't know if Oceanhorn readers, listeners, I hope you're not reading this. Wow. Anyways, dear listener, Oceanhorn, if you've never heard of it, available on mobile devices, is a Zelda-alike game. It's very early Zelda-esque. Apparently really good fun to play, especially if you like Zelda. There's a prequel to Oceanhorn that is in development. That will be included in this service. There was something to do with Sonic. I mean, they had Sonic running through there. I have no idea what exactly that was, but a Sonic game is coming. Some stuff from Lego, or that involves the Lego. And there was at least one FPS, first-person shooter, in there that I saw. This will be available in fall of 2019, and pricing is not yet available, which is a darn shame because this I'm actually interested in.
Yeah, why not?
Mostly because I have an Apple TV and I have a SteelSeries Nimbus. I love that setup for gaming. It's fantastic. But the games that are available for Apple TV that take advantage of that controller, there just aren't that many of them, and they're not that good. Like, there's a few really good ones, Oceanhorn being one of them, Transistor, another one. Excellent games. But
Minecraft?
Minecraft does support it, but Minecraft is no longer under active development for Apple TV. They dropped it a while ago, like 6 months ago. In fact, it was really funny. I bought the Apple TV version of Minecraft for $20 about 3 weeks before they officially discontinued support for it. It was already out of date when I bought it. I tried to connect to our realm, and it's all like, you need the most recent version of Minecraft to connect to these realms. And I'm like, I have the most recent version of Minecraft. There's no downloads. And then 3 weeks later, they're like, haha, psych. We're cutting active development for this. They did refund me my money.
Well, that's good. I was going to say, did you get a refund?
So that was good. They gave me my money back, but I also keep the game, which is nice. So as long as I'm okay with just playing local games, I can still play it on the TV. But
there you go.
that, the support is not there. So this is Apple basically saying, we're taking this seriously. We want these games to be available, like no ads, no in-app purchases, none of that stuff. And a lot of these games look like super fantastic indie games of the vein of stuff like Alto's Odyssey and Monument Valley, and just those really sweet indie games that are basically a work of art. I love those things.
Yeah.
And there was a ton of them from the looks of it. So I'm really interested in it just for that. And yeah, I'll be able to play them on my TV and my iPad and my Mac. And I was saying last week that Google Stadia may have single-handedly saved Mac gaming. And then this happened like a couple of days later. And I was like, oh, okay, Apple might actually have a hand in saving Mac gaming after all. We'll see. So,
interesting.
I don't think traditional console gamers and PC gamers are really going to be swayed by this a whole bunch, but anybody who plays games on their phone, seriously, should consider this as an option.
One thing I heard about this that from another podcast, I want to say it was on MacBreak Weekly, they were talking about it. And for anybody that may have has kids that like playing games on an iPad or iPod Touch or on your iPhone or something, this is not a bad deal because there's no way for them to rack up tons of in-app purchases.
Yes.
There's no ads for them to be clicking on. There's no garbage stuff for them to see. It's all going to be decent content.
Which, if we're honest, is going to give them a better experience, too. Yeah. They're going to look back at the past, and they're not going to remember, oh, yeah, Clash Royale, I could only play that for 5 minutes at a stretch before the app would lock me out for not having enough energy, and Mom wouldn't let me pay for more energy and stuff like that. That's not the memory they're going to have. They're going to have a memory of whatever sweet, awesome indie games are in this thing. It's just like, yeah, I played that thing for hours. It was awesome. That's what they'll remember. That's way more in keeping with my childhood gaming memories, and I just really think that this is a great thing that I think it brings a lot of stability and a lot of legitimacy to mobile gaming that has been missing in large part. There have always been some fantastic, perfectly legitimate mobile games available. There always have been. Don't listen to the naysayers. If you play games on mobile devices and you have a ton of fun doing it and you play them a lot, you're a gamer. That's cool. Awesome. This just really is going to give you much better options if you're on an iOS device or a Mac or Apple TV. Like, cool.
That is cool.
I am all for it.
No, I agree. Like that, I wish that would be something that I could have. Obviously, I'm not on iOS and Android, but iOS and Mac. Sorry.
Join us.
But, oof, that would
Join
be hard.
us.
But no, gosh. Dang it, something Android. Google, come on.
You need to go back and listen to our Stadia episode.
Okay. You want my opinion?
Hold on. Wait, can I finish my gaming news before you give your opinion?
Yeah.
It's really quick. There's just one thing. Warcraft and Warcraft 2 are now both available on GOG.
I saw that.
So they released the full versions of both games, and that does mean that Warcraft 2 includes the Battle.net and both the Tides of Darkness expansion and the other one, both expansions. I can't remember what the name of the other expansion was.
Had two?
Well, yeah, there was the Orc expansion and the Human expansion. There's two, I swear. I'm not crazy. Anyways.
Well, no. Oh,
whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's all included, everything, which does mean Battle.net is available, which means you can play Warcraft 2 in Battle.net Classic, same as the StarCraft remaster and same as the Diablo release on GOG as well. They're both set up to run on Windows 10. Warcraft 2 has a HD-ified version, which means that when you're playing it on a big monitor, instead of having a 4:3 window in the middle with sprites that have been blown up to a half-inch tall and have still only 8 pixels on them,
Yeah.
you'll just have a much bigger window into the map. All the sprites will still be tiny and everything like that. So, yeah, the bundle is they're $10 each. You can get them bundled together for $15, and I'm seriously tempted. Like, that's some classic RTS history right there. I would be totally down with jumping back into. But yes, there you go. Warcraft 2 on GOG.
Yes,
So-
that is so awesome.
So that's
I
all
played
my
a lot of that.
that's all my gaming news.
Yeah, I played a lot of that. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's move on. Before I give you my opinion on Stadia. Well, okay, you know what? I'll just give it. We're there. No, okay. I don't hate it. But I'm wanting to see the appeal. I'm wanting to see what it comes up with. Now, the thing I thought was cool was the YouTube thing, to where I could be like, oh, he's playing this game. That's cool. I want to play it now.
Right.
Which is cool. But I have a couple questions, and I think I need to watch the video to make sure, or maybe you guys can answer it for me. One, is this relying on Google servers, or is this relying on, say, the gamer or the gaming servers? The
Google servers.
Meaning, now what I'm meaning is connecting multiplayer. So obviously it's going to connect to Google servers to do the stream, but for multiplayer, I mean, is this pool going to be 100 people, or is it whoever's connected to, say, Epic Games? So let's bring in Fortnite.
From what I understand,
Yeah,
think of it this way. If you're playing a game, like a multiplayer game on PC, you're playing Fortnite, you are connected to Epic. You are using Epic Games
Correct.
servers. If you're playing, Diablo, you are playing on Battle.net servers. If you are playing Diablo on, like, multiplayer on Xbox, was that a thing? Could you do online multiplayer on Xbox 360 with Diablo 3?
yes.
Okay. You were not connecting to Blizzard servers. You were connecting to Microsoft servers.
Right.
Because you were doing it through Xbox Live.
Correct.
So if you're doing it through Xbox Live or PlayStation, whatever their thing is called. I have a PS4. I should know this.
Plus?
Yes, PlayStation Plus.
Yes.
Then you are playing on Microsoft servers or Sony's servers. They're in charge of that.
Right.
From what I understand, that's what Stadia is. Stadia is Google's servers. If you are doing multiplayer through Stadia, you're not connecting to Epic, you're not connecting to whoever the developer is. It's not like PC gaming, it's like console gaming. So you are connecting to Google's servers, and Google is in charge.
Okay. Maybe I'm just not seeing that as a good thing.
Well, I mean, to be fair, let's be honest. Google probably is going to handle their servers a heck of a lot better than, say, Bethesda or EA, who are notoriously bad at doing this kind of thing.
Yes.
Google will do it better than that.
Google knows what they're doing when it comes to servers.
Okay, yeah, I
all
agree.
the servers.
Well, they need to. They have to be. I
Right.
get that.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess is there what's the appeal other than playing it for a demo for the platform that you're on?
I mean, really, the appeal is that it's a new platform. It's basically like a new console. Google has
Right.
introduced a new console. It's named Stadia. The difference is the hardware it plays on is whatever you've got. It's your phone that has a Chrome browser. It's your computer that has a Chrome browser. It's your Chromecast. It's whatever. Like, anything that's running Chrome, any piece of hardware you can get to run Chrome decently, if it'll play HD videos on YouTube, you can play Stadia games on it. So that's really the difference. Instead of paying, here's $500 up front for the price of the hardware, you don't have to pay for the hardware or the Xbox Live subscription or something like that. You just pay the one subscription fee that includes all of the games, and then the console itself, which is in the cloud for the most part, and all of the online multiplayer stuff as well. So it's basically taking the upfront purchase price of an Xbox, adding Xbox Live Gold on top of that, and then Games Pass, and wrapping all of those into a monthly subscription fee.
And being able to play it anywhere.
And they didn't put the fee on there yet, right?
No,
not yet.
there's a lot of details with this that are still left untalked about. It's supposed to be coming out sometime this year. Yeah, there's no price yet. They haven't put out a list of games. There's Assassin's Creed that we're assuming is going to be on there because that was in the beta.
Right.
And there's this new Doom game that they talked about, and then there's one or two others that
they had a couple of indie games that they mentioned. Yeah,
and they've mentioned different companies they're working with. They're talking with everybody to get onto this thing.
Right.
So I if they do it right, and they actually have like the person, I can't remember her name, the person that's in charge of this project, well, no longer a project, is from the gaming world. Like I wish I could remember her name, but she's like, she knows what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I heard that, once I heard that someone from this place is in charge of it, I'm like, okay, they are taking this more seriously than I potentially thought they could have been. Because, I mean, like I mentioned in last week's episode, Google tends to get really excited about something and then not do anything with it.
Right.
Yeah.
i.e. Inbox, i.e. Google Plus.
Right.
I mean, I could go on. But they seem to be taking this more seriously. They're actually putting the right people in the right places, and they have the resources to do it right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's
I think it can be really good as long as, and the big kicker is going to be getting games. And I think where they have the right people, they can do that. At least, I mean, they may not get everyone initially. There's going to be some studios that are going to be like, let's see how this goes for a year or so.
Yeah.
Then we'll come in. But they're still going to get, I think they're going to get some decent studios or decent indie developers putting their games on this platform.
Yep. And really, you got to just, like, it's been talked about in so many different ways. And it is kind of revolutionary, or has the potential to revolutionize the way we play games. But then so does Games Pass. So does PlayStation Now. So does GeForce Live. Like, all of these things exist already for PlayStation streaming, for PC streaming. Microsoft obviously has their own thing that is going to be talked about soon. And, you know, stuff like that. So game streaming is kind of the future of video games. I think everybody's on board with that.
Yeah.
Stadia seems to be, like, possibly the most polished option, because at this point it's the one that was designed from the ground up
as a streaming
service instead of GeForce Live, for instance, which is just PC gaming in the cloud, or PlayStation Now, which is PlayStation gaming in the cloud, or Microsoft's version, which I assume is probably just going to be Games Pass in the cloud. You know, like games that were designed for an Xbox or a PlayStation or a PC that are just streaming from the cloud, whereas this is games that were designed for a cloud console. And that's what it is. It's a new console that lives in the cloud.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a whole new platform, and like any other gaming platform, the success of it is going to depend on whether or not they can get games people want to play and offer them at a price people are willing to pay.
Gotcha.
And like Caleb mentioned it last week, Phil Spencer even said, he's like, it looks really good.
Yeah.
What Google is doing looks good. It's like, we've got our own thing, and we're going to, you know, be talking about it here in a little bit. But he said, that's a good product. And coming from Phil Spencer, you know, I trust his opinion on gaming.
Yeah. No, yeah, I liked his letter. I read that too. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, I guess I hate to sound like I was being negative, because I don't understand it right now.
Right.
Well,
I really
and
don't.
That's kind
I mean, they gave enough details to get us excited and confused all at the same time.
Well, I think that's what it is. I see these articles and people are just like, "This is it. This is the new," and I'm like, I don't feel this.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm not feeling it.
So many of those articles are written by people who don't play games. Like, they're the folks, they don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation or a gaming PC at home. They don't have the hardware. And so they see, this is games with no hardware. They're like, dope. I might actually play games now. And that's totally fair. I get the appeal there. I said
that exact same thing last week.
Exactly. I don't think that folks that have the hardware already, we're going to be the hard crowd. Like, honestly, I look at this, I'm like, this is pretty cool. I got a gaming PC already. I love the hardware, the tinkering, the building, the PC building, like PC Master Race forever. Woo! Like, I'm super into that. And so a cloud console doesn't appeal to me just because I can't touch that. Like, I can't handle this device. I can't see the processor. Like, I don't believe it exists. If I can't see it, then it does not exist.
That's why before the podcast I asked you about it, Landon, because you don't have really any of this. And I was like, is this interesting to you? And And my next question is, what of this appeals to you at all, if it does at all?
The ability to play these high-end games anywhere on my phone. Granted, I'm going to want a controller for that.
Well,
Yeah.
right,
None of these
right.
games are going to be like, that's the other thing, is this isn't like bringing these games to a mobile device where the controls are awful and the experience sucks. This is playing legit console or PC games on a device that is less powerful and mobile, but still get a really good experience.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. That's what excites me, because I mean, I'm not. I mean, anybody that's listened to more than one episode of this podcast knows I'm not a gamer. I'm not going to go out and buy a console because I don't have a big use for it, because I have other devices that do all the exterior gaming. Outside of the gaming fact, I have stuff that can do everything it can do. I don't need it because
Right.
I might buy 1 or 2 games to play on it, and then I might play those games once a week, maybe. So for me, like this is exactly what Caleb is saying. For the person like me that enjoys playing games every now and then, or likes playing on the mobile device, this is for me, because all I have to buy at most is a controller, and even then, it will work with Bluetooth controllers. It's not going to be as good of experience as if you were to buy Google's controller, which the technology behind that is already is freaking awesome. But like, you know, not having to buy a $300+ console and then buy games on top of that, or another service on top of that, is very appealing.
Yeah.
Especially to me, because again, I have no use for the console outside of gaming.
Yeah. It really is just a matter of like, oh, I see this cool game and like maybe I'm interested in playing that. So here's $15 for a month of this service, and I'm going to play it for a month, and if I love it, then awesome, I'll keep paying the money, and if I don't, then okay. Or if it's a single player experience and you're just like, I just want to get in this game everybody's talking about. I don't really care about games in general, but I want this particular game. $15, spend a month playing it, finish it off, you're done, cancel the subscription, move on with your life. Like, this is a subscription service that I think will appeal to people who are not already gamers and might get them to become gamers.
Yeah.
And there's a very good chance that Google might actually face a problem later down the road with this, where like they'll get into the games on Stadia, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, but there's this I don't like about it, or this I don't like about it, or whatever. And then they'll switch to Xbox, or they'll switch to PC or something like that, and be like, I'm willing to pay the upfront cost for the hardware for these benefits that I don't know if there are going to be benefits over Stadia, because we don't know anything about Stadia at this point. But, you know, like, just hypothetically speaking, that might be an issue that they face further down the road. But I think that it's a gateway drug, you know? It's the Game Boy of our time. It really is. Like, Game Boys got a lot of us into serious gaming back in the day.
True.
I kind of feel like this could end up being that same sort of thing, because let's be honest, mobile games aren't doing it because they're packed to the gills with ads and in-app purchases.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's not doing it. Apple is taking one approach to this, which is basically, let's just pay game developers on our mobile devices to make games that don't suck.
Man.
And Google's approach to this is, let's just take traditional game developers developing for a traditional console environment and make those games available on a mobile device in a way that doesn't suck.
Right.
And that's, I think those are both great ideas. And I think that those are going to be gateway drugs, kind of, for a lot of kids into a lifetime of gaming. And I think that's awesome. So do it.
Maybe what I need to do is wait for E3 when both Sony and Microsoft finally start unveiling their side, and others, for these streaming stuff. And
It'd be
kind of
super awesome
evaluate
if we got more detail from Google on Stadia at E3 as well. That
I'd
would
be
great.
surprised if we didn't.
I'm assuming near that they probably would. Like,
It's already been shown off at for the schedule for I/O. There is a Stadia class going on, so there's going to be more talked about even there.
That's good.
And that's obviously going to be more for developers. So but that will give us a lot of detail.
yeah.
Because that's partially what we don't know yet is what developers can do with it,
Right.
and what they
And
need
how
to
much
do with
work it'll
Yeah.
be for developers to take existing games for other platforms and
Right.
put them on this platform as well.
Right.
That's my big question.
I'm hoping. I honestly, out of all of it, I'm just hoping it works, and it works for all parties. I really
Yeah.
do, because I just great, more competition means the platform I'm on, they're going to innovate and push forward. So that's what I'm hoping for. I was kind of confused because I was just like, I don't know. I just don't see the appeal right now. But of course, it's not talking to me.
Right.
So and that's why I was interested in talking to you. So if this would be something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about another company on here. But Sega, right? Not Sonic the Hedgehog. Sega announces the Genesis Mini.
Yay!
Yes.
Kind of knew this was coming.
Yeah, it was tweeted on Sega's official account, and they were just like, hey, this is coming. So the details on the Mini are a little light, but it says on here the console will ship with Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Space Harrier 2, Shining Force, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Toe Jam and Earl, Comic Zone, Altered Beast, Gunstar Heroes, and of course the original Sonic the Hedgehog plus 30 more titles.
Dadgum. Not bad.
What's also cool is they have the same layout of the controller of the Genesis, the 3-button controller. It will include 2 of them, and
nice.
Also it will come with the USB power adapter plus an HDMI cable with that, and it's going to be $79.99.
Oh, okay, not bad.
So
So if you grew up on Sega games, there you go.
Yep, and it's supposed to be modeled exactly, just a mini model, obviously, of the Sega Genesis. So, thought that was cool. These minis are... Nintendo has definitely started a trend. Holy cow.
Yes, I'm waiting for the Atari ST Mini.
Oh, jeez.
Which would be stupid because the Atari ST included a monitor with it. So, like, that thing would just be like this tiny little CRT display with a tiny little... Anyways, it would be dumb. Just kidding. Don't do that. I have emulators. I'm fine.
Wow. All right, moving on. Speaking of Nintendo reportedly planning to launch 2 different Switch devices, is what it's saying for later this year.
Huh.
Switch on and switch off. Oh, sorry. I'll go back to my hole.
That was actually pretty funny. I liked it. That needs to be in one of our new intros right there. Switch on and switch off. Okay. So what this is looking at, what they're doing is they were coming out with a more Nintendo Switch-friendly kid version. They're going to call it, people are calling it the Switch Mini.
Okay.
Because there's been high amounts, and I can attest to this, of Joy-Cons breaking because of children.
Isn't the Switch Mini the DS?
Yeah, I was going to say, if they actually make the thing smaller, they're going to be cannibalizing their own handheld cells really bad.
They are very slowly, just not saying, but killing the DS. So
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Well, what they're actually going to do is just rename it. It's going to be basically the same
close. It's just going to be shaped as in a Switch, but smaller, and but the Joy-Cons don't. It's just going to be built in.
It's Nintendo's version.
That really
of the
is a DS. It's just a 2DS that's slightly redesigned.
It's the Nintendo's version of the PSP.
Yeah. That's
or the PS Vita, like those different devices.
Yeah.
That's basically what it's going to be. Like shape and,
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then, of course, the next one's going to be the Switch Pro.
Which
so
actually be able to do 1080p 60 FPS, huh?
Is what they're pushing for.
Woo! 1080p 60 FPS.
What is
Everyone
being said
is
it's going to enhance the features and to compete with the likes of the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. That is Xbox One and PlayStation 4, not PlayStation 4 Pro.
PlayStation 4 Pro.
I can talk, people, I promise.
And Xbox One X.
Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you. Thank you for interpreting.
Got that for you, Derek.
Thank you. But anyway, so if you're looking to buy a new Nintendo Switch console, maybe hold out. You might get something a little better for your purpose.
Let's be honest. If you're looking to buy a Nintendo Switch console for your kids, hold out. If you're not, then you probably don't actually care about the advantages that the Pro is going to give you, because otherwise you wouldn't really be interested in a Switch.
Right.
So, I don't know. But the kids version, that makes a ton of sense to me. Hold out for that one.
So what does this do, basically? So it's going to be able to give those newer games that are coming out still give them life, so they can bring over. So it'll be easier for them to bring over the games that are out now, because everything's going to be made for regular PlayStation 4 as well as Xbox. So it's going to have the same hardware and specs as that. So it's just easier to port over, because obviously the Switch is the lowest in the.
Oh, Nintendo has been at the bottom of that pile
yeah.
for a long time. Like, actually, Nintendo has been at the bottom of that pile since
For a long time.
like the
NES.
SNES.
Well, yeah.
Like, I'm honestly trying to think. Like, in fact, yeah, the
NES.
Super Nintendo came out and was the best for about 6 months.
Yep.
Before the Genesis. Was it the Genesis? Yeah, before the Genesis released. And then the Genesis was better than that. And then the, oh my gosh, what was the one that came after the Genesis?
The Saturn.
Saturn was a lot better than the N64. Obviously, it didn't compete very well, but the PlayStation, which was also a lot better than the N64, did compete very well. And then the GameCube came out, but then the PS2 came out, and then the Xbox came out. And they've both been, like, as far as hardware is concerned, they have been wiping the floor with Nintendo from the very beginning.
Yep.
But
they hold their own.
Nintendo's got them exclusives, and dadgum, it's just hard to compete with that.
They are good. But anyway, so those will be available. Sweet. All right, moving on. We're going to talk a little bit of something that happened last week. Obviously, GDC. Microsoft did share a few more details about their Xcloud. More notable is actually the Touch Adaptation Kit, is what they call it.
Oh.
So when people look at the picture, you're going to see basically an Xbox controller on your screen.
Oh,
yeah, the pictures I'm showing
This is not a good thing.
It looks terrible. So this is basically what they're promoting is like, this is the kit. If you don't try and use this, like, not use this kit, but try and help your games for like touchscreen, then you're gonna have an entire Xbox controller on your screen.
They're threatening developers.
Well, it's not really
basically.
threatening. It's like, here, this is how you do it. So in case you're like, okay, I'm playing this game and I got to jump into a vehicle. You're playing Halo, first-person shooter, then you got to jump into a vehicle. You don't want the same buttons and controls. It's going to be adaptive for whatever you're doing in whatever game. And they're just throwing this out there to show, hey, because this was a big thing that people were like, so am I going to have 80 buttons on my screen to try and play something like on my little phone if I don't have a controller? And so this was they're saying no, but they did bring this up and say, look, this is what it looked like. And people are like, they're like, but don't worry. So they did have a little joke, but no, it looks pretty cool, because that's what they were saying is like, hey, this is the adaptive controller, so it will change for your game, for what you're doing in every scenario. So it doesn't just stay the same two little joysticks on your screen. It will adapt. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that's really what they touched on.
Well, I'm glad somebody was paying attention to it, because we had no idea that happened.
We did ask you last week, but you didn't say anything.
That's true. Weirdly, you just sat there silent.
Ask me what? Last week?
Whether there was anything to do with Microsoft at GDC.
Go and listen to last week's episode.
I was going to say, I wasn't here. I wasn't here.
We still asked you. You didn't say anything.
This week's episode
Come on.
that you put out today.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That happened.
It's been a rough week.
It's been a rough week. No, we get it. But they also kind of pushed a little more, or showed a little more, not only with the console native, adaptive touch, and then obviously the Azure stuff. They talked about that. So, really cool stuff. They're going to talk, obviously, more. Like, E3 is going to be Microsoft's, like, show of hands.
That's their gaming event.
Yeah, they're going to just throw it all out and on the table, and here you go.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for, obviously. Not only for that, but for the industry. I want to see what they bring. And who knows, maybe it gave them time to see what Stadia does with that. And then I would love to see what PlayStation does, because they're not going to be at E3, but obviously they're going to have their own event.
Yeah.
Which most E3, everyone else will have it. But I'm hoping that just everyone can just bring out what they're doing and push forward. Because obviously the streaming is, like we said before, the big thing. But,
yeah. Yep.
So I'm excited for that. All right, let's go ahead and talk about a little more Xbox here. This is the Games with Gold for April. Let's go through this. So, the Technomancer. Available April 1st through the 30th. Did you ever play the Technomancer?
I sure did not. But if it's the game that I am thinking of, I sure would not. But it might be not the game that I'm thinking of. I'm not sure exactly.
I have not looked at it, but normally it's $40.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't think it was the game I was thinking of then, because the game I was thinking of is like an Xbox 360 game that did not look good when it came out back in like 2014. So, yeah, probably not the same game.
Well, let's go ahead. I'll read you the description. The Technomancer is an action RPG set on Mars. Feared and respected by all, the Technomancers are fearsome warriors trained to fight from a young age. You are on the verge of completing your initiation rite to becoming a fully fledged Technomancer yourself, but will you survive long enough to uncover the mysteries hidden in the Mars dusty embrace?
Nope, that's totally the game I was thinking of.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like full on.
Well, that's an Xbox One game, so...
Okay. Weird. I'm going to have to go find the video where I first saw that.
Okay.
It did not look good to me at the time. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, hey, if you have gold, I guess.
Yeah, may as well.
Next one, Outcast, Second Contact, normally $40. This is available April 16th through May 15th. Did you ever play an Outcast?
No.
I know there's a few of these.
Did I ever play? I was an Outcast, Wes. That's just... That's my life. Every day I wake up. Oh, I'm playing Outcast.
Sad. Oh. All right, let's move on. One game that I recommend anybody go get. This is actually an original Xbox game. Star Wars Battlefront 2. The original. Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yes. Everyone should play that game.
That's available April 1st to the 15th on Xbox One and Xbox 360.
I just had this moment of absolute confusion when you said this is an original Xbox game, because I thought you meant this is an Xbox exclusive, not this was a game made for the original Xbox.
Original.
And I was like, wait,
console.
I've got that for PS2. What are you talking about? Oh, I get it.
Xbox original is different from Netflix original.
Yes.
Yes.
That's true.
Words.
That's true.
Okay. I'll figure out the date. I'll say the 2002.
It's
Xbox.
old. It's an old game, but still a good game. Excellent
It is.
Game.
Oh, yeah. And then the next one is Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. April 16th through the 31st. This is an Xbox 360 game that you can get. Awesome. Well, and that's actually all the gaming news that I have for today.
Sweet.
Landon, do you have one more thing for us?
Nope.
No.
No, I don't.
Well, all right. Well, I guess
I've had my fair share of gaming news the past few weeks. I think I'm good for a year. So
yeah.
I'm
Probably.
actually excited to see what this evolves into, this streaming stuff, to see if this gets you into possibly some games or something. Because there's a lot of cool gaming stuff that's happening.
Yeah. It all depends on the price.
Well, bingo.
Yep.
He's got that. So, but anyway, thank you everyone for listening. We also appreciate all the downloads, all the support that everyone's been giving us. It's been such a fun ride to do this, and we appreciate it. Oh, I left that open and no one else said, yeah.
Yes, we totally appreciate it. That's, me and my migraines about tech product naming have really appreciated the support of all of you.
It's a good way for Caleb. I love it. It's a good way for Caleb to vent and rant about
I really
this.
do. If I didn't have the outlet to work it out, I probably would have had an aneurysm by now.
And we appreciate you listening. Because we hate it. No, just kidding. But if you guys feel like you want to drop us a line or anything on our website, that's callingallplatforms.com. If you want to check out some pretty cool videos of Caleb and I streaming, and who knows, maybe someday Landon might hop on this streaming thing. We got our YouTube channel, Calling All Platforms, there. And then we also have our Patreon, which at the beginning of the show, you did hear that awesome, sweet intro from Caleb.
Yep.
He worked on that a lot.
I did. I tried at least twice. At least.
No, that was a one-take thing.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't recording. I don't know. I was just here. I don't know what
He was here
happening.
just saying things, not knowing he was recording. See, that's what we got to do. Pretend we're not
I
recording.
was just talking for like 30 minutes, and then Landon's all like, awesome, that's everything I need. And I'm like, I wasn't even saying anything. And he just took all the words and cut them together into the thing you heard at the beginning. Really good audio engineer.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Anyway, okay. Back to Patreon. That's another way to support us. If oh gosh,
come on, Wes, wrap it up. Come on.
Patreon. That is another way to support us. We appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
See ya.